today's fight will be best Tarantino film.
I knew you were going to go with this one.
I was going to pick best side-scrolling one, but I want to know what you think is the best Tarantino film.
You just want to know more what I think or what he thinks too?
It doesn't matter. One of you two are going to say the right thing.
Oh, God. The right thing.
This is what this is about, right?
I guess it is.
Choose your destiny.
I'm just trying to think, like, because there are films that I think he did, but I'm not 100% sure that he directed. So I guess I'll find out when we go down this journey here.
If we say nope, we move on.
Yeah. Okay, we want to slap meat to figure out who goes first?
I guess so, yeah.
Alright, and slap some meat. Alright, you go first, Will.
Alright. So
I gotta keep my elbow off the table next time.
I have to go with the movie that I always show people if they've never seen Tarantino films before. And that's Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
And the reason I go Pulp Fiction...
Son of a bitch.
...is because not just because it resurrected Travolta's career, because actually I'm kind of wishing it hadn't, but because that's the stuff that came after. But the fact that it's a movie that's like a bunch of different stories that all weave together. And that took a lot of effort in his work to be able to make that happen. Plus,
yeah.
I'm always a big fan of like period piece stuff. So the fact that it feels like it's kind of like set, like it's, they don't specifically come out and say what year it's made, but you can tell it's like possibly like 80s-ish at times. But like there's so many characters in that. Like, you have, you know, it starts off, you're thinking, oh, this movie's going to be entirely about this one character, and then like it just switches, and it just kind of goes off on the different trails. And yeah, there's some weird parts, like the part with the gimp, but that's just kind of Tarantino being Tarantino in a way. Like he's got.
I mean, he's just, it's literally him just saying this exists. I'm gonna put it in here.
Yeah, and that's really what he does. Yeah, and the fact that like all the different actors, like if you go through the cast list for this, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then you kind of remember all these different parts, like from the movie after you're done with it, and you kind of go back and you go like, oh yeah, that part. You know, it's just kind of like, and God, confused Travolta has become one of my favorite memes of all time. Mm-hmm. Just like, I'm just like walking like. Like, I occasionally do that in public by accident. I don't realize I'm doing confused Travolta, and I am. But, like, one of my favorite characters in the entire film is Harvey Keitel's character. Is it Mr. Wolf?
Yep. Oh, the guy who comes and cleans
the cleaner.
Up their fucking mess.
Yeah. And, like, he's one of my favorite characters in the entire thing, because he just shows up, and he's just like, all right. And he just kind of just takes care of it all. Like, and it's just like, that's such a small role for such a big name actor, especially at that time.
Well, yeah, and you had Walken. He was only in there for the watch bit.
For the watch thing, yeah.
Which was a very good scene.
Yeah, everybody knows that scene.
So there I was with this uncomfortable piece of metal up my ass for 20. It wasn't 20 years. It was like fucking 5 years.
Yeah. And I do. This is one of the times where I like how it kind of leaves it open-ended. What's actually in the case? Like it kind of like you tell us what's in the case in the end. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's so many lines and so many great things. I just think it's his best movie, hands down, from beginning to end. I really do. And I could keep going on and on and on about it, but I like I said, if somebody goes, I've never seen any of his films, I say Pulp Fiction's probably the easiest to sit down and watch the whole way through. Some of his other stuff gets a little long-winded. Sometimes it's a little out there. But and this does that too, but it just feels like it all weaves together perfectly.
Okay. Originally I was almost thinking of picking Pulp Fiction. But my mind was wandering around and I thought maybe of Inglourious Bastards. He did. I don't know if he directed.
He directed.
He did. Okay. I was like, I wasn't 100% sure because like some things he produces, but people use his name more because it's more popular than their other director and everything. But
he's actually only directed 19 titles.
Yeah. Of recent memory, though, I have to say I enjoyed the hell out of Django Unchained. I did. I know it's not one of his best films, but I was laughing my ass off the whole way through most of it. It was really good action. The acting was done really well. I'm not really even a big Jamie Foxx fan, but he did fucking great in that movie. Some of the subtle comedy was great, like when he just shows up to that one plantation and he's in that fucking like suit from that blue suit from head to toe, and the guy's beating the one slave, and he's just like, hey, and it's just like the camera turns and it's like the fucking western whistling, and he's just standing there with a gun and he just shoots the guy. Like I enjoyed everything in that movie. And then the ending of it was just a gigantic fucking bloodbath that was amazing from start to finish. I mean, it's like, it's not all the best things that Tarantino's done in other films that he's done. Because, like, honestly, if you want to go with, like, some of the better fight choreography and gore and all that stuff, Kill Bill has got that down pat. Like, Kill Bill's fighting is fantastic.
Well, I was very close to going with Kill Bill 1 and Volume 2. So I consider them one thing. Because they really were. They were
pick one of them, but it's too late.
But they were pretty much made to be one.
I understand what they were designed to be.
But
yeah. Well,
I get what you're saying.
I can understand you might wanting to pick those, but I didn't because I hate Uma Thurman. So,
and he loves Uma Thurman.
Yeah, he does.
She's all right.
I find her a good actor. I don't find her attractive.
He's got one of them Uma Thurman half chubs. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
what? She has a dick?
No.
Put some beer on that.
Put some butter right on that. But yeah, I just feel like Django Unchained was like a love letter back to his older days of like writing just like action flicks and stuff like that, but he did it, it was constructed more fluently. Because like the way it starts, it's a little slow, but then as soon as that fucking ferryman gets off, he stands up off of his coach and starts doing his thing, people start dying, and he's just like, I'm going to train you, boy. Has him follow around because he's like, you don't mind killing people? He's like, I fucking hate everybody. And it was just like seeing the progression of him training him how to kill people, you know, to save his love from the plantation owner, and then like Leonardo DiCaprio's part in that whole thing was fucking great. He was perfect in that. And then to find out that he actually fucking sliced his hand open for real,
just kept going.
And Samuel L. Jackson's part in that movie is the funniest shit I've seen in a long goddamn time.
The Uncle Tom part?
Yeah.
Really?
It's funny as hell. It's like, you gonna tell me you gonna let him stay in the house? He's like, shut up and get in the kitchen and make pie. It's like, god damn. Like, it was funny as hell to me. So yeah, that's my answer. Django Unchained.
Okay, so I'm a little surprised. Because while I do enjoy both of them very much, I mean, how can you not enjoy Pulp Fiction? It's probably one of the most quotable movies he's ever made. Literally, everyone will quote that. People that have never even seen the movie know quotes from that fucking movie.
It is, but I'm getting tired of hearing the fucking Royale with cheese quote. It's dead.
Royale with
fucking
cheese.
Stop.
I thought you were going to say you're tired of the fucking... Say what one more time, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't hear that as much as the Royale with cheese thing lately.
So
I don't know why.
much. Or Zed's dead, baby.
I don't hear that one as much.
You'd be surprised at how often I hear Pulp Fiction quotes.
Okay.
It is a very good movie. Again, very quotable. Lots of very memorable scenes. How can you not remember, especially if you've seen it, even if you haven't seen it, Samuel Jackson quoting the Bible right before he kills you because he thought it was a cold thing to say to motherfuckers before you blow him away.
Yeah.
It's just straight cool. That's kind of what Pulp Fiction had. A lot of cool moments. Django Unchained. I fucking loved that movie so goddamn much. You don't even I didn't even realize how long it was until it was done.
Yeah.
Like I watched it and was like, this movie was over 2 hours long. It did not feel that way.
It was It's
I started watching this when the light was out, and now it's fucking dark as shit. But I
can't say that much for a Hateful Eight though.
I didn't feel it that way. It just
watched that during a blizzard.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was that long. There was a lot of very good moments, like he said, when he's like gets to pick his own clothes, and he goes to the plantation and he's like, Did you dress yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you wanted to look that way? it's a lot of good stuff in both of those movies. What I'm surprised about is, because one of my personal favorites is Reservoir Dogs, and neither one of you picked it, which I find astonishing.
I think it's because I saw Reservoir Dogs a long time ago, and it's one of those ones that I guess, like, because I haven't rewatched it recently, it's just not in memory.
See, and it came before Pulp Fiction, which it did. That's where he started with his whole multiple storylines in one movie.
Yeah. And Reservoir Dogs was interesting because it was mostly just shot in that fucking warehouse.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing just takes place in there.
And you find out, oh, this happened at this point, and then you get the piece of the story together, and you find out the guy in there that's fucking bleeding out dying is the undercover cop. And there's the whole sting operation going on, and it's a really good movie. You know, originally Steve Buscemi was going to play. I mean, Quentin Tarantino was going to play Mr. Whatever Steve Buscemi's character. I can't remember the name. He wasn't Mr. Was he Mr. Pink?
Pink.
Like he was Pink.
Yeah.
He was going to play Pink, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to play this unless you can prove me otherwise." And Steve Buscemi did a good enough job to be like, "All right, you have the part."
Because it's Steve Buscemi.
And
Well, I guess we both lose, Will.
no.
Jason wins.
I think it might have been easier to pick his worst, honestly.
What do you think his worst is?
That he directed or what? Because
That
again,
he directed.
Probably, which one of the Grindhouse ones did he do? 'Cause
Planet
I didn't really
Terror.
care for either
he
one
didn't
of
do
them.
Planet
Oh,
Terror.
he did.
That was
Death-
Rodriguez. He did
Death
Death
Proof.
Proof, which I didn't really care for. I mean, I loved Kurt Russell in it, but I didn't really care for anybody else.
Okay.
He also directed a scene in Sin City, but that didn't get put into the theatrical version of Sin City. I don't even know what the fuck Four Rooms is.
Well, I'm waiting with bated breath. Who won? I'm trembling over here.
Sorry, Will. I like Django Unchained.
You're going against Pulp Fiction.
I like Django Unchained more than I like Pulp Fiction.
Alright.
I mean, again,
No, they're both
Tarantino-
fantastic fucking
they're both
films,
very good
though.
films. I put them really high up, but I like Django Unchained better. It had I can never remember his name.
I actually can't believe I won.
I can't remember his fucking name, but King, the actor that played King in the Django Unchained, I love him, dude. He is so fucking good. Especially his character in Inglourious Basterds, who, by the way, his character in Django Unchained is the forefather of his character in Inglourious Basterds. And he does such a good job in Inglourious Basterds at being that, like, very evil guy, but he's so likable because he's just looking out for himself.
Yeah.
You get it. You're like, you're a Nazi, but you're just trying to be a Nazi for your own reasons.
Have you guys ever seen the original Inglourious Basterds?
I have
with
not
Fred
seen
Williamson?
the original. I've seen scenes from it, but it's a very different movie.
It's very different, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they're not beating people.
I mean, it's not as
They won't
gruesome,
well,
but
yeah,
the
they
idea is
show
basically
that.
the same. It's an elite group of soldiers that go into Nazi Germany Nazi-controlled France to kill Nazis.
Yeah.
It's
Well.
just not Tarantino. Hey, let's get the bear Jew out here and beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
Sorry,
that,
Will.
It's all right.
You're on a losing streak right now, and I feel really bad
It's
about
okay.
that.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I thought Pulp Fiction was the pick, but you never
No,
know.
when you said that,
You
I
never
was like,
know.
well, I'm done.
You never know.
I really like Pulp Fiction, but I could watch Django Unchained more than I can watch Pulp Fiction, which is
Fair enough.
weird to say, but
All right.
I like
Well, hey, it turned out to be a good topic.
again,
after all.
neither of you even picked Jackie Brown either. That's such a good movie.
Never watched that one.
Really?
It's okay.
Darrell only watched it for the fucking scene where he thought
That's a
Pam
friend
Grier,
of ours, by the way.
Pam Grier was going to get naked, but she doesn't get fucking naked in the movie.
Oh, it's like when I sat down to watch The Biggest Little Whorehouse in Texas.
It was like, where's them Dolly Parton tits?
Never happened.
You're more likely to see Lily Tomlins.
All right, everybody. On that note, we're gonna end this episode.
Who's Lily Tomlin?
She was in that, right? I know she was in another.
I don't know who it is.
She was. She was in 9 to 5 with Dolly Parton too. I'll
That
look
another
her
porn?
up. I'll look her up.
As we said earlier in the episode, you can grab yourself an awesome t-shirt at Ripped Apparel. Link will be down below in the annotations. Use Grindcast in all caps for your coupon code at checkout. If anybody wants to get in contact with us with sponsorship, you can hit us up at thegrindedword@google.com or gmail.com, sorry. And yeah, Will, you have to put that in the annotations too now, or email.
Good.
I got that set up. And yeah, all the links down below to all the places we are. Hit us up on YouTube, subscribe to that channel. So we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. See you in the next episode.